Good morning. It's another beautiful Saturday morning. Today, we've just finished a session on reflections and realizations with our group, a worldwide group of men. I say worldwide because we've got a regular who's become I guess, a really a part of the family now, like everyone. And he dials in from all the way from Malaysia. So wow. So it's about what, 7, 8 o'clock now? I think, is it 7 hours ahead? Or 8 hours? Seven.
I was ahead, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So wherever you are from the world, the beautiful thing about the current situation that we're in, it's enabler, especially with technology, that there is no barrier or restriction. We can still continue to have deep, meaningful conversations, and like we did today, we actually had a lot of deep shares. We obviously can't go into the details of the share or mention any names because those sessions are private. Zoom session, the room is locked, and it's for men only, and it's for men to talk about anything and everything. And believe me, for all the women listening out there and all the men listening out there, we go so deep, it's actually unimaginable. Sometimes we get shocked about some of the stuff that comes back, but shocked in the sense that, not shocked because of what comes out, shocked that we've created this space. Then we just have to take a bit of a wow, okay, this is really happening, and men are talking to each other about real conversations, and we're positively even helping in a small, minute way to ensure that men don't become a statistic and go down the suicide route, etc. I mean, that's on the other side of the spectrum, but even on the other complete, I guess, other side of the spectrum of mental wealth and mental health. And I say both is because our sister group is called Mental Wealth. But in terms of mental health, anxiety, right? Who do you know right now in your life who says they don't suffer from mental health? It's absolutely untrue if they say no, because mental health is articulated by challenges that we face mentally that consumes our minds and our thoughts and our feelings and our thought patterns that actually consume us so much that we find ourselves with a back up against the wall and confined into a space that we can't even release our emotions and our feelings with our partners and our loved ones. And that's why we create the space. And quite often, I don't know about you guys, but some of the best conversations I've had is with people I've just met in the moment. And
it's authentic. There's no one's bringing any baggage, I think, into those conversations.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. And there's no expectation, right? Exactly. Because the people that we grew up with know us. Oh, that's Viraj. I know Viraj because that's who I grew up with. I know Manoj. I know Sagar. I know Tilak. I know Havan. I'm mentioning those names, guys, for audiences because these are the team members who all contribute for creating the space for Mindful Men's Club. But guess what? The people they know us, that they grew up with us, we're not on the same frequency anymore. So actually they don't know us. And I want to put it out there to anyone listening who's connected with me. You actually don't know me. You think you know me because that's the Manoj you grew up with, but I'm not that same Manoj. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean it in the most humblest, energetically positive way, that if you want to vibe and connect with me, then connect with the Manoj who is now here and present in this moment, because I'm definitely not the same Manoj that you knew me 20, 30 years ago. And I guess it's same.
That ties in perfectly with today's theme, right? As we're talking about reflections and realizations, we're just looking at who we were at a certain point, or where we kind of stuck in, to where we're at now. And there's some examples shared about how we hadn't experienced, and it's only until we reflected on it we can see how that served us and made us a better parent or a better partner or a better colleague or a better employer. And I think that's, to the point what you were saying there, Manoj, as well, is that people don't know us, but then have we ever really known ourselves until we take the pause to reflect and bring these realizations forth?
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Here's what's now. Where do I take this into a future? Because you're crafting your future in the now. You can use your past as a reference point. The difference is if you're living your past now, your future is going to look like your past.
And that's a really beautiful share, Viraj, and thank you for that. So that's going even deeper, and that's what we're all about, right? So yeah, so I love that, because what I mentioned was the fact that people don't know us because we're not the same people. But what Viraj is articulating there for anyone listening is that actually we have to go through whatever we have to go through in life, right? Whether that's whatever level of pain, whatever level of life will always throw curveballs at you. All right, curveballs. I'm using the baseball analogy. I'm not sure why I'm using a baseball analogy because I don't play baseball, but there you go. But life will always throw curveballs at you, but it's up to you, you as in yourself, to hit that home run. And no one's going to hit that home run for you, right? You have to make that run, and you have to do that. And what Viraj is alluding to, which we can't go into details, is something that a couple of us shared, including me, about whatever pain we had to go through in life to evolve, change, adapt, and adjust the energy, frequency, and vibration of who we are right now. But we had to go through whatever we did have to go through, whatever that is for everyone in life, right? Everyone goes through stuff, right, in life. But if we don't go through that, then we can't evolve, and we can't learn from it, more importantly, and then we can't be the better version of ourselves who we were yesterday and yesteryear. So I think that that's really, really, really powerful, really, really powerful. So thanks for making the link, and Biraj. And yeah, so today we talked about reflections and realizations, and every 4 sessions, right, guys, we try to put a bit of a pause. And the reason we try to put a bit of a pause in the middle of our topics, and I'm sure Viraj or Saga will put it on the link, the Eventbrite link right now, the future events that we have coming up right now. The reason we put a pause is because we take stock. And how often do we live in this rat race? And I'm not referring to the rat race as people perceive it as, which is the 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with if you're working in a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with if you're doing a 9 to 5 in your business or whatever, or hopefully you ain't doing a 9 to 5 in your relationship, but that's 100% commitment. But there's nothing wrong with being in whatever race you're in your version of a life. But if you don't take stock and take pause through reflection and introspection, and take a time out to fill your cup. Like for me, most of you guys know it's my lovely, beautiful connection with nature and my walks, and for Saga, it's pure service, and in the events that he does with our good friend Prit, about whether it's Gayatri Mantra or Garba or whatever, and you don't charge for it, and stop asking guys why you don't charge for it, right? Because he is doing it because he wants to give back, and it's seva. And if you don't know the meaning of seva, for our English audience, it's translated it's into service. That's all it is. It's service. And what Viraj does, another beautiful soul, in just being there for people, right? And so I guess we all do it in our own right, but what we don't do quite often is fill our own cup. And you can't possibly fill your own cup unless you hit pause in your life just for a moment and reflect and introspect. What is the version of life that you want to create for yourself, and stop looking outside. You might get inspiration from outside, and that might be the spark or the catalyst, but guess what? All the answers are going to be within. All the answers are going to be within.
It's part of the conversation where we're talking about joy and happiness, right? That we're chasing happiness, but if we can just bring forth the joy that's within us, and almost it's that childlike quality that we've just forgotten as we've experienced things in life, and the need to find something that gives us that happiness rather than generating the joy from within by just appreciating and just being very present to where are we, who we are, what are we seeing, what are we feeling. And when you just come from that space, and we spoke about this in a previous live about energies and frequencies, and we mentioned Dr. Joe Dispenza and some of his work, is when you can bring your own vibe up a few notches, everything changes. And everything changes by doing nothing. Absolutely. Right?
And that's let's pause on that actually. So that's a beautiful thing. So what do we mean by that? Let's go super deep here. Everything changes when we do nothing. So what Viraj is sharing there means that when you elevate through your soul, so when you elevate energetically your own energy, vibration, and frequency. So what I mean by that is create that joy. So joy being an internal state, happiness being an external state. So happiness, as one of the men refer to, is goals in this life. So that could be an attachment to a goal. So I want a new house or a new job or an increase in pay or start a new business. That's a statement version of happiness. And then joy comes from within. It's a deep sense of fulfillment. And when you can be joyful, and it's very easy, and I'll say that again, what Viraj said is, actually, can you just repeat what you said, Viraj? Because I think you said it
I think I kind of went with the flow. I forgot what I said, but it's like
You said it. You said.
um,
You said it's it comes from nothing. You said
yeah.
joy comes from nothing, and
So
what it
happiness comes from stuff where joy comes from nothing. And what I mean by
absolutely,
nothing is we're
absolutely.
just part of a space that's connected, and when we just tap into that, you just bring it.
Absolutely. So let's go deep and talk about specific examples. And if you guys want to share, you can share. So for me, that state of joy is I can tap into it instantaneously. All I've got to do is step outside of my house, which I will do after I've had another bite to eat, and go for my long 2-3 hour walks and do Mr. Dr. Doolittle and get some weird, strange looks. And I don't really care because OPO, other people's opinions don't matter, in a nicest, respectful way, because it contributes towards the noise and clutter in your life. And if I want to smile at a beautiful horse or donkey, or just observe how a swan goes from one place to another across a lake, that's my state of joy, and I'm present in the moment. And life is about being present in the moment, right here, right now. And the most beautiful thing about this situation that's brought up, apart from, I'm saying there's beauty in everything. So yes, there's been massive tragedies in the world with the current situation, and I'm not going to mention the specific name. That's just my personal choice. But what's the beautiful thing that's happened is that we've gone so inside because of lockdown and social distancing, that some of us who have become aware, who are emotionally aware, so are you tapping into your EQ, your emotional quotation, that we've gone inside, not our houses, but inside ourselves, inside our lives, and we've realized that actually we're connected more with us now than we ever were with ourselves. And if we're connected with us and who we are in our own being, that's allowing us to be connected with others. And going back to what Rura said, is people gravitate towards your energy. Your energy reveals yourself. I put this on one of my quotes, and I do these quotes every day. Your energy reveals you before you utter a single word.
Sorry, I think, do you know what? And exactly what you said, Manoj. And I think when people think too much into what others will perceive them as, you will never ever attain happiness, right? And it was something I thought about yesterday, actually, like on my actual birthday, which is really weird. And I was thinking about.
And happy birthday! Yeah, we're gonna party hard, right? Obviously, with social distancing intact, we're gonna party hard.
Yeah, I'd rather party with you guys than go to the pub, to be honest with you. So
yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to that. No, go.
Lemonade.
I was just saying things people need to try and get understand is pain. Once you understand pain, I think every obstacle is easy to get through, right? And sort of eliminate whichever way you do, because I realized doesn't matter who you are, right? Whether you're rich, poor, whatever it is, but pain is attached to everything. And what I mean by it's so deep because this came through the whole shamanic thing, the shamanic meditation yesterday, was if you've got a lovely family, there's still pain attached to it. And why? Because if people are talking about you, you're going to feel pain. If people don't recognize you and don't talk to you, you're going to feel pain. When it comes to love and being in a marriage or being girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, if you don't get loved too much, then you're in pain. If someone loves you a lot, you're still in pain because you're like, okay, now I feel like I'm strangled, right? Same with work. If you have a job and you don't enjoy it, you're in pain. If you leave your job, you're in pain because you're still trying to find the money. So pain is attached.
This is attachment, right? And the thing is, we see pain in the negative, because quote unquote it hurts, but then that means there's a stretch and there's a growth that's happening. Because right, you go to the gym, you're telling me you can't do a bicep curl without experiencing some pain, so you have to rip a few muscles in order to grow them.
I want to just share this. I mean, just want to say thank you to people who have connected online on Facebook. Nimesh has just said on the watch party is if happiness is what you're after, then you are going to be let down frequently and be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, is something else. It's not a choice, not a response to some result. It is a constant. Joy is the feeling we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. And that's from Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful share.
Matthew
Beautiful
McConaughey.
share.
And
That's a great example. Have you heard his speech at the Houston graduation?
no,
Yeah, and
Brilliant.
please put it on the link, because if you haven't heard it, it's raw, authentic, and pure inspiration, and it's just brilliant, as Viraj said it. So yeah, it's
I'll share
amazing.
that on the page afterwards. It's
Yeah,
about
please.
40 minutes, and I used to listen to it at least once every other week for a while. And yeah, he talks about the pursuit of happiness or living in joy, or something along those lines. And again, it's the pursuit of happiness, right, rather than being with joy. And I think, you know, this is quite, because you mentioned pain and mentioned reflection. There's the Ray Dalio's philosophy of pain plus reflection equals progress, and it meshes perfectly with what we're talking about today. Sorry, Saga, you're going to say some other things. Carry on.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no. I was just yes, I was just saying, awesome share. That was such a, yeah, it's nice, and all these comments, we do take them on board, and this is why we'll go into it more detail, but this is why we've created the YouTube channel, because we will put all these shares into that channel, so people can just go in whenever they need to. They don't have to wait 2 weeks for us to do a session. Anytime they feel like they need to connect with something, or you know, wake up at the high frequency, then they can literally just go to the YouTube channel, and you can maybe hopefully get something out of that. And we will actually section it off, so every topic that we've done will create something where if you just want to listen to money mindset, for example, then you don't have to go through all the playlist. There will be a money mindset playlist, and all the options and the shares that we've had in the Zoom live, and as well as this live as well. So hopefully you'll be able to find what you know, navigate it around a lot easier than going through everything.
Thank you for that, Saga, and that ties quite nicely into our Zoom, our free. I say free because we're never going to charge for it, because it's pure service. Our free Zoom sessions that we have. The whole point of the Zoom session is there is no expectation or judgment. There is no membership. You can join once and never return again. You can join one Saturday and miss 6 Saturdays and not feel any pressure. And I think the guys, I'm sure we've got some, I can't see, sorry, I'm on my phone, but Viraj will do some shout outs to whoever's watching. I'm sure Saga will in a minute, but I'm pretty sure all the guys will vouch for that whoever's on it right now, that there is no expectation and judgment. And that's the reason why we need to create this YouTube channel, because the whole point is that you should not prescribe to content if it doesn't vibrate energetically with the frequency you're on right now in your life. So if you're suffering a job loss, God forbid, or you've been furloughed, etc. So you know, my wife's been furloughed, and currently I'm bringing in the income as well, and she's bringing the income, but we don't know what's happening on October because she's a travels consultant. Money mindset's a sensitive topic, and we're going to keep, I think it would suggest that we do other topics along money mindset, and we will do it, because let's face it, I don't want to give that too much energy, but we are entering into a recession, or sorry, let me correct myself, we are actually in a recession. That's a factual statement, and it's going to be more worse than what it was in the 1920s depression, right? And if we can do something to support in any way, shape or form, just a small way, that's what we're doing. One of the men who mentioned just half an hour ago or 40 minutes ago on our session is, what's going to happen? What are you guys actually going to be doing once lockdown finishes? Meaning, are you going to continue these sessions? We all literally said absolutely yes, because it's something we already discussed, right? So we are going to continue these sessions every 2 weeks religiously, start at 11 a.m. For those of you struggle with synchronizing your clocks, it's 11 a.m. On a Saturday, and it finishes at 12:30. We went super deep as we did. So today actually it finished at 1 or just after 1? I can't remember. Just after 1? Yeah, because we don't cut people off, right? Like, yes, we've got families, we've got lives to get to, but if a guy is opening up that is going super deep, and quite often it's the first time they've ever even opened up ever in their life.
Probably hearing the first time themselves, right? But actually hearing
yeah, just saying those words out loud for the first time. it's a liberating feeling. It's a massive weight off their shoulder. And to know that there's men listening who aren't going to judge, who aren't going to come in with an ego, because our egos, we all have egos, but we leave them at the door. Let's be honest, right? We don't come in there with any expectation judgments. We leave our egos at the door. And we all have egos, whether people realize or not, because ego, you know, I'm not going to go too spiritual here, but ego, in the Bhagavad Gita, it's referred to as Maya. Maya is this illusory energy, the illusion that the world paints around you, that creates attachment to materialistic things and gains and wants and needs, etc. So and a more, I guess, a flip side, a more a cooler reference, if you like. I define cool right these days. Hey, I can't keep up with my fashion in my kids, and they say, "Dad, are you not cool anymore because you don't wear this?" I'm like, "Oh, interesting." But been there, done it. But you know, Matrix is one of my favorite movies. So thanks for forcing me to talk about Matrix, Viraj. But no, listen.
Just put that out there. I'd love to do one just on the Matrix and dissect that.
We definitely will. But if you guys, I think we've lost a few people now because we do this, right? But what we're talking about is this illusion that life has. Of an illusion could be people in your life. People in your life could be your illusion because they're attaching expectation and judgment on you, on what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, why you hang around these friends, why are you doing this, whatever it is you're doing. But the whole essence of one of the guys that shared, and again, mentioning no names, unless we get specific permission to mention names, then we will, is that he shared that he just wants to be happy and not have any judgment or expectation from family, friends, and society, and just be present. And what we all alluded to is to be present in our life. We need to tap into and find our inner child. Because you remember when we were children, when you used to grab the bike, and if you can afford a bike, and then just ride for hours, that's what life's about, right? Like, just find the inner child. And when you used to pick up a paintbrush and paint without any expectation or judgment, whether the art is any good, it doesn't matter. It's your form of expression and your outlet. Or whether you're into music like Saga is, and you just want to DJ for hours and hours and hours, and because that is your joy. That is not your happiness. That is your joy, because that's your inner joy. So whatever it is, I think just life is too short.
External or anyone external. You're just doing your thing and living.
Absolutely. Like, life is too short, guys, men and women listening. Find your inner creative genius, whatever that is. Be present in the moment, be that child, tap into your childlike mentality, and be that free spirit, and beautiful things will materialize in your life. It's limitless. You'd be very surprised what comes up in your life if you just tap into that inner child and not think about OPO, which is other people's opinions, because that contributes towards the noise in your mind and the clutter.
Yeah, I mean, no one ever changed because someone asked them to, and no one will ever change because you asked them to. But yet, isn't it strange how we try to mold ourselves to how we think we should be for other people? And yet, it's such a strange dance when you look at it that way, right?
It is. And now you've alluded to one of my other favorite quotes, so I'm just going to say it out there. So, quote unquote, so life is a dance between free will and destiny. So I'll let you kind of digest that. I'm not even going to go into the meaning of that because I'll talk for another hour.
But I mean, I think the thing that we're just going to go down the rabbit hole here. We believe, or we make ourselves believe, we have no choice. And sometimes in life, you're in a situation now, and we convince ourselves there is no choice, rather than there's choices to make. You just may not like it. But also recognizing that what's happened in the past, the choices we made in the past have got us have got us to the place that we're in right now. You can call that karma or whatever you want to call it. But also that means that you can take that and use it to your advantage and make more empowered, informed choices to go forward. That's free will. What you say, what you do, what you act on right here, right now, is your free will. 100%. You may not like it.
100%.
But you have a say. You have the ability to do something. Again, it's just we convince ourselves because we don't like the choices or the options we see right now that we have none.
Absolutely. I was having a beautiful, and actually really thank you for bringing that up. I think you should say the last line again.
What did I say?
I always do this, don't I? You're like me,
like,
like when you feel inspired, you just say what's real, right? Yeah, from the heart.
Like, yeah, so in the moment, right, we can convince ourselves that we have no choice, we have no option, we are totally powerless, life's crap, life's shit, it's done.
Yeah.
But actually, if we're going to be honest, we may not like the choices that we have available. And it's
100%.
very clear to flatten that. Is okay, I may not like the options I have right now, but at least I have options. There's nothing physically stopping you from making that choice. We just convince ourselves to not take the action because it's to deal with something, and we create it like it's calm, it's our destiny that this isn't going to happen, which is like bullshit. You can go in the car, turn left or right. That's your choice.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. I love this. Let's go deep. Let's go deep on this. So it's like that inner voice, right? Yeah. It's like that angel devil scenario. I've got an angel on my left. I say left because normally it's associated with the left because your heart's in your left side, obviously, and you've got the devil on the right, right? And that angel and devil is no different in terms of personality. That is the noise, the collective noise from your friends, family, society, colleagues, anybody who's ever done you wrong, anybody who's ever done you right, all collectively stirring in that subconscious entity that exists in your mind that only gets awakened when you're in a dream state or when you tap into your higher frequency. And that noise actually is all contributing towards a choice that what's actually is telling you, suffocating you, right? It's telling you that you don't have a choice, but actually you have a choice every single moment in your life. And like Rura said, is sometimes you're going to make tough choices, right? This weekend, again, please, I don't mean this any disrespect. I'm culling 3,000 people off my Facebook in the nicest possible way. I say that because I'm saying it in a nice way because I want to put out content that serves my community, my and community that serves me. And the reason I'm doing that is because whether you're a friend or family, well, obviously not family, but if you're a friend, a Facebook friend that I've never had a conversation with, we've never even spoken, we've never even liked or commented or shared each other's posts, not for vanity, but just for pure connection and communication, then why are we friends? Like seriously, like I looked, there's this beautiful app called Friends Filter, and it analyzes your whole friends list and it tells you who's on the bylines, who's never actually done anything, but always watches your posts. But that's okay, right? But that's okay because there might be a confidence thing there, or there might be an attachment to what other people think if I comment on Viraj or Sagar's or Manoj's or Havan's posts. So that's okay. All I'm trying to say is, for me, it's a personal choice of, when you hoover your house, what do? You're cleaning up, right? You're cleaning up. When you bathe in the morning, you're cleaning your body. All I'm doing with this filtering is I'm cleaning my consciousness and the energy that I want to vibe with people. So all I'm doing is it's just a gentle hoovering exercise, nothing more, nothing less. But if you don't often pause and reflect and have that cleaning or cleansing, and whether that's in your friends or whether that's in colleagues, because you guys know some of the best friendships I've ever had is with you guys, right? Like people I've just met, call it randomly. Well, there is no random. I don't believe in randomness, sorry, but it's a synchronicity of the universe, right? So people who have your back, guess what? You're going to know who they are when I nearly swore there, so I don't swear ever on Facebook, but when things happen that are so unimaginable that they suffocate you, that they take you through down a line of depression that I went through, where I nearly committed suicide 2 years ago, because you think no one's got your back or you can't actually talk to anyone. That's you don't want that. You don't wish that on your worst enemy. So on the flip side of it, when you meet people who have your back, male and female, right, both, yeah, it's just a liberating feeling that they don't want anything back from you. There's no hidden agenda. And that's what real soulful connections in life is all about. And that's what I mean. So that's the people who I want to connect with, because the energy, vibration, frequency that you guys are on, I know you guys are on, because I've seen the evolution of even your journey. You've seen the evolution of my journey. We just want to live by that statement that people band around loosely, which is hang around with like-minded people. That's a whole topic in its own self. What actually does that mean, like-minded people? Think about that.
Well,
People use that so loosely, don't they?
yeah. No, and that's the question itself. Is okay. There's like-minded people, but what mindset are you in? Is it your like mind
Yep, absolutely.
that elevate the?
Or are you mirroring the mindset of people around you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 100%. I've got no idea who's listening because I'm just rambling on. But please, respectfully,
people here.
Please just say shout outs to whoever's listening because I can't see on my screen.
Yeah. No, I just want to say hi to Mittal from the US, Rajesh from India, Pavan, my namesake Viraj, literally Viraj. I was kind of related. It's quite freaky, quite cool at the same time. Bhavin, Chirag. Like, it's great that you guys are joining in, and if you've got any questions, any comments, like just feel free to pop them in on the chat, and we're going to keep an eye on that.
Thank you. Yeah, so you got US and India joining, right? Wow, interesting. Yeah. Whereabouts in the US and India? It'd be nice to drop it in the chat if you can.
New Jersey, we've got up north in India, and we've got Ilford.
Nice. Wow. And Saga's hosting a watch party, so I think Saga's going to.
Saga's crew.
Again, thank you so much. We've got Nimesh, Dhiren, Yuvaranjan, of course, and we've got a few actually. So Nimesh has shared the speech that we were talking about the graduating class. So I'll put that into the playlist. When the YouTube channel is up and running. We've also got Yuvarajan also said, guys, I have a female friend who wants to join Mental Wealth Group. How can she connect with that group? Yuvarajan, what we'll do is we'll send you the link. We'll send you the link directly and connect, just so you can just forward that to your friend. Nimesh again said, sometimes the only choices are bad ones, but you still have to choose. 12th doctor, that's what we put here. And then Dhiren is just so true. Facebook clear out is required. So after what you said, so yeah, I think clear. I don't even know how I've got so many people. I think they're all my clients. But I need to clear it because clearly they don't keep in touch with me. So.
No. But I didn't explain. It's not their fault. So for those of you who don't know, Facebook is constantly changing their algorithm.
The algorithm gives you 2% reach.
And what I don't want to get into a social media coaching session here, but the way it works is that the Facebook algorithm only serves content where there's high engagement, and it can only be high engagement if there's likes, shares, and comments. So you know how some people say that, oh, I never see your post. It's because you've never liked, commented, or shared. But to see the post, you have to follow the person, right? So you can be friends with them, but still not follow. So if you follow the person, that means then any content that pops up actually pops up on your feed. And Facebook penalizes you, for those of you guys who don't know, if you have near a 5K limit and low engagement. If you have, say, 100 people on your Facebook, and this is, you can do your own research, this is fact, and have 100 conversations, you will have super engagement. And Facebook is like a casino in Vegas. They don't want you to leave. It's a business. So therefore, the more engagement you have, then it will put that higher up on the algorithm. It's just, I mean, I can talk deeper on that. It's just as simple as that.
Guys, I want to put this out there. I know tomorrow we're going to be talking about topics and things that we want to cover in stuff coming up, the YouTube stuff and everything's all great. But I think in terms of what we've been seeing lately, in terms of Black Lives Matter, and we've seen certainly in the South Asian context, police brutality conversation happen, and also about suicide. I think these are themes that have been suggested in the recent past, and that's just something I want to put on the table, because I think that that's part of what we're doing in terms of connecting, growing, and inspiring, is having some of these uncomfortable conversations about where do we stand in normalizing equality and creating that space, and things are happening on our watch right now, and what can we do about that as a individual and as a collective.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for the record, there is no subject that is taboo that we talk about. We've talked about some subjects that you won't even imagine, guys, seriously, and women, because it's life, right? Like, why shy away from life? Like, why wear this mask that we wear? Like, have you guys experienced this? Somebody says to you, "How you doing, Viraj? How you doing, Sagar? How you doing, Manoj?" "Oh yeah, I'm okay." What does okay mean? What the hell does okay mean? And then they either two things happen. They take that as factual, and they move on to the other subject because either they're not emotionally, intellectually, no disrespect, aware of themselves and aware of what's really going on with the person they're talking to, or there's a hidden agenda and they kind of really want to talk about themselves, right? This is two reasons, right? And then on the flip side, us, an example of role playing as, yeah, I'm okay. It's because we don't vibe with that person and we know that they're not the right person to open up to, or we don't know how to open up. And we don't know who to open up to and when to open up. And that's the whole point. We created the space of Mindful Men's Club. We talk about anything, and we are so respectful to each other. We joke, we laugh, we go super deep. We talk about things that typical blokes talk about superficially in, I'm going to use a stereotype here, in pubs, but then don't go deep and then leave it. And then have a few drinks and then get intoxicated and then forget the whole conversation happened in the first place and then repeat that whole cycle. What we talk about is we tap into every single thing that's happening in people's lives. And going back to what Viraj's point is, there is no subject that's taboo. So if you want us to talk about a subject, can one of you guys put on the link, please, what the next events are coming up?
Yeah, we've got our next event is, it's on the live now, which is auditing your relationships, which, we're talking about online relationships and engagement and lack of, and what does that look like on an offline basis as well, right? So I think that's a very topical time right now.
And it's a beautiful inroad, right? As in, that's the next event, and we're bringing that in terms of online versus online. That's a good entry into that conversation. Yeah. And the next one after that?
Yeah, it's finding your why after that. And then
love that.
And then beyond that is when we're going to create the next few conversations. So, anyone listening on the chat, if there's anything that you would like us to discuss, and we can create the event and send an invite out, or potentially debrief as we are on the live now. We'd really welcome your suggestions. And again, this isn't our thing. We don't own this. Like, this is just something that we've set up as a contribution to anyone that wants to be a part of it in whatever way, shape, or form. So any feedback that we get is golden.
Yeah, I just want to also just mention thank you guys for, as I said, commenting on the watch party as well. Eurajan said, change is the only constant thing. Action is an insignia of life. And we've actually got so many, it's so nice that even though this group is for men's only, the women who have actually joined, especially on our debrief, thank you so much, because we've already had someone saying that I know someone that might benefit from this club. Please, can I pass the details? And that's coming from a woman. So I know the group itself is for men's only, but as Manoj said last time, we have so many women in our Facebook group. And so thank you for that. And this is why we're trying to create that watch party. So people who don't, who are not in the group, at least they know that this group is out there and this is a platform for men. I just want
to... just to expand on what you're saying, Sago. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Whilst it's called Mindful Men's Club, the Facebook group is for everyone. Yeah. The actual live conversation we have is limited to men only. However, the content that we're sharing and we're putting out, and this debrief, it's open to anyone that wants to attend and contribute towards.
It is, and I think, and it's just going on, so following what you've just said, I think, I know some of the women actually message privately and so on, but you can actually, this whole debrief is so that you can also play a part. And please do comment. If you've got a question as a woman, we're not going to avoid that subject, because
100%. Yeah.
For us, as Manoj was saying earlier, it's like when you ask a question, or when you're trying to, all your options, but what you do is you tend to take a step back because you think but you don't know, right? So if women think that, they should know this, but we don't. We're not all telepathic. So how you may feel into something that we've done a debrief on, mention it in the comment. And we're not taking it, we're not going to not say anything about it. We might actually bring it up, and that might actually give us a topic to talk about.
I was just going to say that. Go, go. No. Sorry. Say the comment first.
We just had a comment here from Fatima Ahmed saying, guys, this is amazing. I think men don't need this, but as a woman, I still find the content super helpful and relevant. Thank you so much, Fatima. That's
thank you.
Exactly
thank you very
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And actually, that's a beautiful share, Fatima. And just to echo that and what Sagar was saying, and Viraj, please put the actual link to our sister group on the chat now. So please, if you can do that.
Yeah.
So our sister group for all the women who are watching, and also who the men, let's flip it around, right? Men, if you've got women in your life who are suffering from mental health and are going through a battle that no one knows anything about apart from you, and you feel that you've only taken it so far and they need somebody else to talk to, please ask them to go to our sister group, which is called, it's on Facebook, it's called Mental Wealth. So Viraj is just about to put the link on there. Yeah. And back to Sagar's point, I was going to say the same thing. Women, we do not shy away from any topic. We're real, we're raw, we're authentic. So if you want men in your life virtually, and however you want to connect this, if you want to suggest a topic that men should talk about, actually, let's give yourself a seat at the table, so to speak. Obviously, you can't come to the event because it's just for men. But if you want men to talk about a specific topic that you feel men just shy away from or don't talk about, please, we would be internally grateful if you just put a name of a topic right now on the watch party, or whoever's watching or sharing or repeat sharing, or do hashtag replay. If you watch this on the replay, if you put hashtag replay, it will come up. I promise you, we will discuss that topic. There is no topic off the table, because if it helps serve the men, and then actually in duality helps serve the women as well in their lives, and vice versa, we will happily do that.
Oh wow, amazing. Yeah, Fatima's watching from Australia.
Wow.
Oh wow. Welcome. Well, I don't even know what time it is in Australia.
It's anything between 7 and 9 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So you've got Fatima in Australia, you've got Yuvraj in Malaysia,
Rusha in South Africa, a few people from the States.
South Africa. Wow, welcome everyone. We're eternally grateful for you guys to join. And just to echo what Viraj said, the inspiration and aspiration that we have as a group, and why we created this group in the first place, is because we've all been through a journey of some sort, whether that's from mild anxiety to I don't want to speak about anyone else until they share it, but in my case, twice nearly committing suicide. So I don't want another, and none of us want another man to be a statistic to suicide, period, worldwide, whether that's a female or male. So that's why our sister group has been set up, Mental Wealth, and our group has been set up, Mindful Men's Club. We have no egos. We will never talk about business. We will never charge for any of our workshops. We're going to be launching workshops actually when the lockdown ends, face-to-face workshops, obviously with social distancing permitting. I mean, our Prime Minister can't make up his mind whether it's 2 meters, 1 meter, or we're going to hug each other next week, but that's a separate conversation.
How many pints you've had?
Yeah. I mean, let's not even get started on that. But he has a tough job to do, albeit, but that's a whole separate topic.
You've got to be grateful for that, right?
Absolutely, we are. Yeah, we're grateful for everyone who's doing anything, small or large, to contribute and help people. And one thing we've never done right on this live, and I don't know why, but massive shout out to anybody who's on the frontline organizations who's helping save lives. And I've got some friends who are occupational therapists, nurses, doctors, and some of the stories I've heard from them, like, we think we're going through something. We've got Netflix, right? Why are we complaining, right? Do you know what? Okay, I'm just going to say it, right? I'm not going to name names because I'm not going to name and shame people on the spot. I don't do that. I always do positivity. There's people who have come up to me saying, Manoj, I'm so bored. Manoj, what should I do? I'm like, are you crazy, man? Like, girl, are you crazy? Like, seriously? Like, you have so much knowledge. Like, you learn a new language, sign up for a new course, launch a new business, focus your energy on getting a pay rise, focus your energy on getting a new job, focus your energy on climbing the corporate ladder, focus your energy on fixing your relationship, fixing by repairing by, I mean, just being present in the moment, being there for your friends and family. Like, don't come to me with you're bored, because go and research what Nelson Mandela literally suffered through hit proper lockdown. That's what you call lockdown, right? This
Well,
is not
it's a choice
lockdown.
of
This is a holiday.
free
This is a
will.
holiday. Yeah, that's just a whole nother topic.
Free will. It's a choice. But also, I saw a friend of mine shared something. Was like, guys, let's not forget in World War One, there was no internet, there was no technology. World War One, World War Two went on for 6 years. So if all we're being asked to do is hand sanitize, wear masks, and refrain from going out, I'm sure we can handle that. But again, times change, and it's part of what we're doing is just to elevate that consciousness on a micro level, on a macro level, and just helping people find ways just to connect to those, because that's such a good example of what you shared, Manoj, of like maybe a lack of purpose, a lack of meaning, lack of being born, and something's just missing that they need to connect to. And
it's okay to have that lack of, it's because life is like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And we all have these missing pieces. Sometimes we have the relationship piece, sometimes we have the business piece, and our business is either in a, and we discussed this in money mindset, so our businesses are either in a survival state or a thriving state. Sometimes we have that dream job, sometimes we've been furloughed, like unfortunately for those who have been furloughed right now, and then unfortunately for those who've actually lost their jobs. And I've been through 15 redundancies, and I don't think I'm going to meet anybody in my life who's been through 15 redundancies. I've survived 10, and I got paid out last five. I'm probably going to write a book about that at some point, but yeah, there you go. I'll put it out there live now. But life, go back to what Viraj said, life is about lifting others up through the pursuit of your own happiness and finding your own inner joy. So what do I mean by that? Like, shine the light on others, and then the light will be shone on yourself. Yeah, like whatever that, whatever you want to do, random act of kindness, pick up the phone, be there for that friend, family member that you just on your address book that actually you've never even spoken to for years because you've taken them for granted, not consciously. It could be consciously, but subconsciously. And now lockdowns happened. We're all having and exploring deeper, meaningful relationships. I know my relationship with my wife has improved. My relationship with my kids have improved. I don't know if they'll ever watch this because they're not on Facebook yet, but it's irrelevant because the intention is pure that we're putting out, and the connection is pure. And I know Viraj, as a father, and I saw this beautiful little one just pop in on a live Zoom session, and it just brought a smile to everyone's faces because that's real life, right? That's normality. And that's what life's about. Like, light people up, guys. Light people up around you, and then they will gravitate towards your energy. And then you know what's going to happen? Not that that's the reason you do it, but you're going to feel that joy that you desperately that we all seek inside of us. And joy is like what Vera said. Actually, I can't even remember the line that you said, but I love the line. But yeah, you should have written it down. But something about
go back and make note of it.
yeah, go back and make a note of it. But something about it's so easy to access joy. Simply do nothing. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, and by doing nothing means be present in the current moment. And if you're present in the current moment, your subconsciousness is awakened in your live state. So what do I mean by live state? Don't get me started on that. So your dream state, I'm not going to go down that road, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So when you dream,
if you're watching this right now, you're in your dream. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. You've either taken the red pill or the blue pill in Matrix. So either you're living real life or you're living in a obscure reality of what you call life. But no, I'm going to stop there because I want to get started on something.
No, I think so. I think that's the perfect note to end and leave some intrigue on. Saga, was there anything you wanted to add?
I just want to say again a few shout outs. Thank you Vimal for joining, Yurajan, Dhiren, Hina Chudasama, thank you Nimesh. Dhiren said something very powerful actually, which and I completely agree with that. Lockdown has been a total positive for me. New connections, new friends and family via platforms like this. Top stuff, guys. So now thanks.
That's a beautiful positive share. Who was that from? Sorry again. Dhiren. Okay, thank you, Dhiren. And where's Dhiren joining from?
Dhiren's from the Isleworth Massive. No, Twickenham Massive. That's it.
Twickenham. Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing that, because I think we'll end it on that positive note. Like, life will always throw challenges at you, especially this situation we're in. But like Darren said, what are you doing about it, and what are you taking? Like, what opportunity are you seeing from the current situation that you're in right now? And there is opportunity. By opportunity, I'm not talking about materialistic opportunity. I mean the opportunity to experience life and reconnect with people that you love, and re-energize your own life. So I think on that note, I will end it, if that's okay, because we can just talk for hours and hours and hours. Thank you so much. A massive shout out for all the men who have joined our private Zoom session, which is obviously free, and it will continue to be free. Thank you for all the men who are actually on, I guess, watching right now live and watching on the replay. And massive, massive shout out to all the women who've actually inspired some of the men who are in a private Zoom session, actually. So let's not forget to acknowledge the women there. And please, it's not just for men. So if you're if you're a woman, and if you're a man and you have a woman in your life, and you want to help them and generally help them, please, I'm sure Viraj has shared the link on the chat. Get them to go to our Facebook page, which is from our sister group called Mental Wealth, not mental health, mental wealth. So that's a positive spin on it. And if a flip side, if you're a woman and you have a man in your life, obviously you do, and you want to help them, and you may not know what they're going through. Next time you ask them, "Are you okay?" And if they say yes, please don't stop at that, because men really don't know how to open up to that statement. And ask them in the right context and the right environment, and another time, and I guarantee you they'll open up again. Don't ask them, "Are you okay?" That's too generic, right? Because it's too easy for guys to say, "Yep, I'm fine," and move on. Ask them a meaningful question, and I guarantee it will be the catalyst and spark to open up a more deeper, meaningful conversation and experience that's happening in their life. And you might just help. You literally help save a soul, because whether you put a smile on themselves because they feel liberated because someone's listening to them, or they've suffocated in their mind because no one's ever listened to them and they don't know how to reach out to people, and you're that conduit, you're that conduit of energy between yourself and them, the sharing their story, then that's a beautiful thing that you've just created, right? And that's what life is all about, is about connecting to each other, because we are all one at the end of the day. So listen, thank you very much for everyone. Massive shout outs to whoever's listening. I can't see on this screen, but I'm sure the guys have done shout outs to everyone. If you like what you hear, if you don't like what you hear, please let us know. We're all humble people. We will take feedback very, very seriously, and we will listen to it, and we will learn from it. And if you, and if you like for what you hear and see, please get people to join our page, Mindful Men's Club, and share the page. And share the page on the sister group, Mental Wealth, because we men would not be here if it wasn't for the Mental Wealth page on Facebook, our sister group. So have a really, really super, super, super blessed weekend. And yep, love and light to all of you. And we'll see all the men in our next session. What's our next session, Viraj?
Next session is Auditing Your Relationships on the 18th of July, 11 a.m. UK.
Yep, we're going to go super deep on, as we do every other week on a Saturday, and we're going to be auditing our own relationships and sharing positive and negative, because both energies exist in duality, of the experiences that we have, and whatever pain and happiness we've been through, and whatever that means and manifests in relationships. And we're going to, we're just going to do what we do every 2 weeks on a Saturday, and we love what we do, and that's why we'll continue what we do. And just to echo it, it's not our space, it's your space. So please suggest topics that you want us to talk about. And then once we have our physical workshops that we will be hosting in London for now, who knows, we might expand it later on, but for now it's London. Once the social distancing really is kind of sorted out, but it's not really currently sorted out yet, we will be going super, super deep in launching workshops again that are going to be completely free. And the workshops are going to be about tools, techniques, strategies that we've all learnt, not necessarily read in books, but learnt and experienced and lived through and applied, because application is everything in life. And we're just going to humbly share that, and then we're going to have other men in the group share their experiences, and we're going to learn from them, right? Because we're all learning from each other. And I think somebody mentioned it. I can mention his name, because it was a nice positive share. So Yuvraj shared that famous quote from Bruce Lee, right? Please don't ask me. Don't
Well,
ask me to recite it because I can't.
be like water, my friend.
Yeah, just that's it. Beautifully said. Just to be like water, my friends. And on that note, have a really blessed weekend. Bye.
Take care, guys.